I will never forget the day Musa disappeared. It was late afternoon. The sun was bright and strong. Shadows stretched across the ground like lazy dogs. I was standing by the well, waiting for my turn to fetch water. Musa stood a few feet away, laughing and talking with some of the younger boys. Then I noticed it. Everyone had a shadow, except him. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks. I blinked hard. I moved to the left, to the right. Still nothing. Musa's feet touched the ground, but behind him, there was only dust. I felt cold inside, even though sweat was dripping down my back. I told myself not to stare. Not to say anything. But once you notice something like that, you can't forget it. It sticks in your mind like a thorn. After that day, I started paying closer attention. It was true. Musa's shadow was gone. And the more I watched, the more I saw other strange things too. Musa's mother, who used to walk around the market barefoot, now wore bright cloth and gold earrings. Their broken house suddenly had a new door and a smooth mud floor. Musa himself wore sandals nicer than anything I'd ever seen. His shirt had real buttons, not tight string like the rest of us. He had money to buy fried yams from the women who sat under the mango tree. He even bought sweets for the little children. People started treating him differently. The chief invited him to sit closer at meetings. Girls began to whisper when he walked by. But Musa didn't look happy. He smiled, yes. But it was the kind of smile that looked painful, like it hurt him to move his mouth that way. His eyes were far away, like he was always thinking of something he couldn't escape. One evening, after the sun had dropped and the sky was soft and purple, I found him sitting alone by the river. He was tossing stones into the water, not even trying to skip them, just watching them sink. I sat down next to him. "Your life is sweet now, eh?" I teased. He didn't laugh. He didn't even look at me. "How did you do it?" I asked. At first, I thought he would stay silent. Then, in a voice so low I almost missed it, he said, "I sold my shadow." I laughed because it sounded too foolish. "You can't sell a shadow." He didn't laugh. He turned his face toward me. His eyes looked hollow, like old wells that had dried up. He told me about the man at the baobab tree. About the black bag. About stepping into a circle drawn in red sand. When I stepped out, Musa said, "My shadow stayed behind." I sat frozen, my skin crawling. He showed me. The moon was full that night. I looked at my own shadow first, long and clear across the ground. Then I looked at Musa. The moonlight touched him too, but nothing lay behind him. No shade. No shape. It was wrong. It made my stomach twist. "Why?" I asked. "Why would you do that?" He smiled sadly. I wanted more. I was tired of being poor. Tired of waiting. For a long time, neither of us spoke. We just listened to the water slipping over the rocks. Finally, he said, "But the man wasn't honest." He said I would get riches, but he didn't say what it would cost. "What did it cost?" I asked. He sighed. "I am forgetting who I am. Sometimes, when I wake up, I can't remember my father's face. I can't remember the songs my mother used to sing. I even forget my own name for a little while." I felt a heavy weight in my chest. "And the man," Musa said, "he comes to me in my dreams. He calls me. Tells me it's time." I wanted to cry. I wanted to grab Musa's hand and pull him back to the world we knew. But I didn't know how. A few days after that night, Musa stopped coming to the well. He stopped sitting by the market. His mother looked tired and sick again, the rings gone from her fingers. People started whispering. Maybe he left for the city, some said. Maybe he went to look for more fortune. but I knew the truth. One night, when the village was quiet and dark, I thought I heard his voice. I went to the river, calling his name. The water was still. The air smelled heavy, like rain before it falls. I never found him. But near the old baobab tree, where he said it all began, I found a mark on the ground. A black circle burned into the earth. The grass around it was dead. And there, just inside the circle, was a shadow, small and faint, with nobody to cast it. Sometimes now, when I walk home late, I feel a chill even when the night is warm. I hear footsteps behind me, soft and slow. When I turn around, there is nothing there. Only dust. Only the memory of Musa. The boy who sold his shadow and lost himself forever. Weeks passed after Musa disappeared. The village moved on, or tried to. The market still opened every morning. The children still ran laughing through the dusty paths. But for me, everything felt wrong. I couldn't stop thinking about him. Sometimes at night, I would dream of Musa standing by the river, calling my name. His voice sounded thin, like wind through dry leaves. I would wake up sweating, my heart beating fast. One night, I made up my mind. I had to find him. I didn't know how. I didn't know if it was even possible. But I knew I had to try. I packed some food, dried maize, groundnuts, and a small gourd of water. I tied it in a cloth and set out before the sun rose. I walked straight to the old baobab tree. The air around it was strange. Too still. No birds sang. Even the insects seemed quiet. I stepped into the black circle on the ground. At first, nothing happened. I stood there, feeling foolish, feeling scared. I was about to leave when I heard it. A whisper. It wasn't in my ears. It was inside my head. Why are you here? I turned around fast, but nobody was there. Only the great baobab tree, with its thick trunk and twisted branches. I'm looking for my friend, I said, my voice shaking. I'm looking for Musa. The whisper came again. You seek what is already lost. The ground beneath me felt soft, like I might sink into it. I tightened my hands into fists to keep from running. Please, I said. Tell me where he is. Silence. Then, a different voice, sharper, deeper. If you want him back, you must trade something. I remembered Musa's words. Trade. That was how he lost his shadow. My heart pounded. What do you want? I asked. The air grew colder. I felt something brush against my arm, something I couldn't see. Give your voice, the voice said. And you will find him. I stood there, my mouth dry. If I gave my voice, I would never speak again. I would never tell stories. Never call my mother's name. Never laugh with my friends. I thought of Musa. Of his shadowless body. Of how he had begun to forget himself. I thought about living the rest of my life silent. I shook my head. No, I said. I won't do it. The ground trembled under my feet. Then leave, the voice thundered. And forget him, like the others. I stumbled backward, out of the circle, gasping for air. The whispering stopped. The stillness lifted. I dropped to my knees, my chest heaving. I sat there for a long time, staring at the old tree, feeling tears burn my eyes. I couldn't save Musa. Not like this. After that night, I stopped dreaming about him. The river no longer called me. But sometimes, when the evening sun is low and the shadows stretch long, I sit alone and remember him. Musa, the boy who wanted more. Musa, the boy who gave too much. Musa, the boy who sold his shadow and vanished into the wind. And sometimes, just sometimes, when the light is just right, I think I see him, a boy standing at the edge of the trees, watching, waiting. But when I blink, he's gone. Only the wind remains.